No, if I have one message which I have been trying to deliver for 40 years to Arab audiences, it is this, that the only thing stopping you from uniting is you.
بس إيران مثل أمريكا.
The United States cannot control the streets of Brooklyn. The United States cannot pay its electricity bills. The United States cannot stop the Lebanese people being together, the Lebanese being together with the Syrians, the Lebanese and the Syrians being together with the Iraqis. They cannot stop the Arabs being together. Only the Arabs are stopping the Arabs being together. As long as people sit in coffee shops with their argili, blaming the Hawaja, blaming the Turkish, blaming the British, blaming the Israelis, blaming the Saudis, blaming the Iranians, you will always be divided. And as long as you're divided, you'll be weak. And as long as you are weak, they'll steal your wealth. It's not rocket science. You don't have to be Einstein to work it out. Unity is strength. If you could only stop thinking like Sunni and Shia, like Lebanese and Syrian, like left and right, like Maghrebi or Levantine, if you could, or Gulfi, if you could only stop thinking like that. You are 350 million people who speak the same language. You know, in Europe, we speak 150 languages. You speak one language with one God. Imagine the strength that you could have if you came together. But as long as you are ready to sit and blame other people, you will never be united. And as long as you are not united, you will be divided. And as long as you are divided, they will steal your things. That's why they're doing it. They don't care if you're Sunni or Shia. They don't. Listen, madam, in the parliament in which I sit, there's 650 members. If I ask them one by one to define the difference between Sunni and Shia, none of them could do so. None of them. They don't care if you're Sunni or Shia. They don't care if you pray or fast or make Hajj. They don't care about Islam. They don't care about religion. They just care about dividing you. They just care about making you fight against each other. As long as you're fighting each other, you're not fighting them. You're not fighting Israel. You're allowing them to steal your oil, steal your gas, steal your water.
Why don't Americans know what you have seen?
Americans don't want to know. And many Israelis don't want to know what is going on inside Palestine. It's a terrible human rights persecution that is far transcends what any outsider would imagine. And there are powerful political forces in America that prevents any objective analysis of the problem in the Holy Land. I think it's accurate to say that not a single member of Congress with whom I'm familiar would possibly speak out and call for Israel to withdraw to their legal boundaries or to publicize the plight of the Palestinians, or even to call publicly and repeatedly for good faith peace talks. There hadn't been a day of peace talks now in more than 7 years. So this is a taboo subject, and I would say that if any member of Congress did speak out, as I've just described, they would probably not be back into Congress the next term.
Who are these forces that you're talking about?
Well, very effective work of the American-Israeli group called AIPAC, which is performing its completely legitimate task of convincing Americans to support the policies of the Israeli government. And AIPAC is not dedicated to peace. They're dedicated to inducing the maximum support in America, in the White House, in the Congress, and in the public media for whatever policies the Israeli government has at a particular time, and they're extremely effective.
Do you agree with Walt and Mearsheimer, their new book, The Israel Lobby, about the power of AIPAC determining U.S. foreign policy? I
have to say I haven't read the book. I've read stories about it. I don't really know about the details of it, but I do know that AIPAC is very powerful and completely legitimate. I'm not complaining because that's their purpose in life, and AIPAC, I think, was organized in the distant past, I think, when Eisenhower was president, and they've grown in influence, and in some ways they are to be admired. Did they influence you as president? Not really, because I was immune from those pressures. When I was elected president, I came out of nowhere. Nobody thought I was going to win until the last minute, and so I wasn't obligated to them. And the Israelis completely dominate the life of the Palestinian people.